What's up guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about the T8 unit, and we're going to be comparing T7 versus T8. We're going to be doing a breakdown of the cost, and at the end of the video I'm going to share my opinion on whether or not you should go for T8. Okay, so I'm going to be able to provide the cost for all units, but in for comparing the units from T7 to T8, because I went down the Walker route, we'll be using the Walker unit as a frame of reference. So do keep in mind that I will not be showing infantry or airship stats, but showing you the Walker will just give you a good idea of how much stronger the T8 unit is than the T7, and each unit is stronger in specific areas, and we're gonna jump into that in just a moment. Okay, so let's just get into it. Let's just jump into it, guys. So the T8 unit. So for infantry, it is the Reaper and the Sorcerer. Now, I am aware there is a guild version of them, but I'll be making a separate video on those because those need their own video, and for not for good reasons. But I'll be dropping that shortly after this video. So for Walker, it's the champion. For infantry, it's the Reaper, and for airship, it's the Dragon. Okay, and the T8 unit is obviously stronger than the Bastion, right? The T7 is weaker than T8. Now, by how much depends on what class you're looking at. So I'm just going to quickly pull up just a document that I put together just real quick, just to show you the cost. So if you want to pause the video and just get this information, feel free to do so. But here I'm just showing you the food, parts, and the respective resource, that third resource for each T8 unit, okay? Now, let's talk about the stat increase. How much stronger does a T8 Walker really get? Okay, so let's look at these stats here, and keep in mind that I do have max research, so this is a great way to compare, because at the end of the day, guys, you should be striving to have maximum research. It makes your units a lot stronger. It really does make a difference. So here's a T7 Bastion, full research. Now let's go over to T8. So let's break down each stat individually. Okay, so the HP stat, we see a 60% increase. Okay, we go from 6,800 to 10,880 with max research. Again, I just want to stress these are values at max research, so keep that in mind. So that's a 60% increase. That's amazing. That is great. Attack, we see a 70% increase, going from 594 to 1005. Okay. And then we go to defense as well. Defense, same increase, same stats. Now crit stays the same between both. Or sorry, it doesn't stay the same, but the rise is incremental. It's very small, 3.5%. We go from a 140% from Bastion to a 145% to T8 champion. Okay, so accuracy. Now this is the interesting part. Now this is kind of unfortunate, but for some reason the accuracy stat remains the same between T7 and T8. So there's a 0% increase there. Oh well, you know, too bad, I guess. But I was expecting an increase in that stat because, you know, Walker is Walker. Walker is known for their great accuracy. So I was expecting an increase there, but unfortunately there is not. And then for the dodge, we see another 3.5% increase, very, very minor, going from 120% base dodge to 120% base dodge. All right. And I want to show you guys a replay. Well, before we get into that replay, I want to talk about the other two classes just real quick. Now keep in mind that the increase in stats from a T7 to a T8 will vary based on the unit class. Now what I mean by that is infantry. I think infantry gets the most benefit out of going from T7 to T8. Why? Because infantry class gets the attack research. The attack research is very crucial in terms of the multiplier and how much it increases from Conqueror to Reaper. Now I've been provided some screenshots, not at max research, but of some T8 infantry, and let me tell you, I can almost guarantee you that they pack a much harder punch than T7, and we're gonna showcase that in just a moment. Okay, so the attack stat being natural for infantry is a very exponential. It's a very exponential increase from T7 to T8 in that stat alone. Okay, and then the dodge, of course, and all that good stuff. Airship is known for their defensive stat. Their defense stat is very, very high. So going from a T7 to a T8, you're going to see a big multiplier in that stat specifically. Now, unfortunately for Walker, we didn't see that. So that's what I'm kind of bummed out about. So Walker mains who are out there, do know that going from T7 to T8 will not increase accuracy, but everything else goes up, relatively well, but accuracy bonus, it just sucks. But maybe we can submit a ticket to that to the devs and be like, hey, infantry and airship get a great exponential increase on their, on their specific stat, but champion don't. Okay, so so now that we talked about that, let's show you guys how lethal, especially infantry, can be. Okay, so this was a opponent I came across in Ace of Galaxy, and this guy is running the X versus my Medusa. So obviously I one-shot the tile, but just look at that damage, look at that accuracy. Here I'm running a lot of dodge. Now obviously if I run a lot of strength and weaken effect, I can easily suppress this guy. Oh, what happened there? There we go. Oh, let's speed this up a little bit. Actually, just for you infantry lovers out there, I'll leave the replay so you can see their attack animations and whatnot. But again, guys, T8 infantry is very powerful, very strong. So for you infantry mains out there, I highly recommend you get T8 for sure. They can be very deadly, especially on an X and on a Stella. And you just got to build a little bit of accuracy, of course. But if I ran a bunch of strength in, I can obviously suppress this. But this is a battle where it seems like both of us are using just high damage gear, high non-tier suppression, non-resistance, all that jazz. And so let's talk about whether T8 units are for you. Okay, so in my situation, I was able to get to Research Lab 21, and you have to ask yourself, are you going to quickly spend your way to T9, or are you going to be waiting for quite some time before you even have those T9? Now, to those people who are saying, or who say like, oh, T8 suck, just go for T9, that that's essentially their wallets talking. T9 is expensive. It still is expensive even after they've provided us with a lot of opportunities to farm those unlimited crystals, but it's still gonna take a long time, guys. Do not be fooled. So T8 is great for those people who are not going to be spending a lot of money to get to the high tier units, the advanced units, and who just want to shake up their combat. Arc of War is all about the combat, it's all about the fighting. So why not get a little upgrade in your unit? You know, you're stronger, it's more exciting, it's more fun. So that's my thought process behind the T8 unit. I am definitely making my way towards T9, but I wanted a new unit to have fun with. And you know, I got tired of looking at those butter blocks. T7 Bastion, I swear those have the worst fighting animation, but now they look T8 look badass. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much answers the question if T8 is the unit for you. Again, if you're going to be waiting for T9 for a while, it's not that expensive to get T8. You can farm it easily. Okay? So I kept fighting this guy over and over again until I finally beat him. Let me just quickly. Oh, he was here. So I hit the walker and sonar. If once I hit those two skills on the same turn, it's pretty much over for the enemy. So that's that, guys. Now what else do I need to talk about? So yeah, that's that's the T8 unit for you guys. Again, infantry, you're gonna see a big stat jump in attack. Walker, unfortunately, you see no big stat jump in accuracy, but for airship, you should see some stat jump for defense. And yes, they do cost shadow matter as well, 1 shadow matter per unit. Let me just quickly showcase that. So, oh, sorry, 2 shadow matter. I think actually I'll post it down in the comments below just to make the correction, but I'm not exactly sure if like a Reaper is worth 1 shadow matter and a champion's worth 2, and then maybe an airship will also be worth 2, maybe 3. But I'll look into that and post it down in the comments below, so make sure to look down there for that. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got a little insight on the T8 unit. And I'll be dropping a video soon on the guild T8, okay, because we need to talk about those. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Later.